We're live, ma'am.
Good afternoon, everybody. It's indeed a pleasure to have collected here today on IAP Charity Day, 26th August 2026. When we actually think of Indian Academy of Pediatrics, the first thing that comes in our mind is academics, conferences, research, guidelines, and CMEs. But IAP has always been much more than a mere academic organization at its heart. It's a commitment to the health, dignity, and well being of every child. And across the country, IAPians have across the country, IAPians have believed that it is our responsibility that we are there at the end, not only for our clinics, but beyond the academics and beyond the clinics, we are.
हाँ तो टोटल जो आप टोटल देखिए ना नीचे का टोटल अमाउंट
Children at
खाना इंक्लूड करके
Dr. Singaravin.
Thank
Dr.
you.
Singaravin.
Good afternoon to all of you. At the outset, I congratulate our President Neelam team for celebrating, creating awareness of IAP Charity Day on the August 26th. See, for decades together, we the IAPians reaching to the communities by various activities. Let it be health camps, let it be screening program, school health program, adolescent program, preventive aspects, and anemia initiative, nutrition. Like that, we are doing lot of activities not within the four walls of the clinics or hospitals. That is our IAPians attitude, and our IAP is doing that. To quote something, our organization has brought so many activities, KSA, Triple S program, and IAP Community Case SAT, and Bye Bye Anemia, like that. And this year, our president also brought a lot of good initiative about nutrition, so that we are taking care of children, not only their health and nutrition. What this through OJAS and this auspicious our charity day, we want to take our young and as well as adolescent school children to encompass everything of their health and all other nutrition, so that they are going to be the pillar of the nation. Unless we sow proper seeds, we can't get a proper tree. So that this OJAS program on this auspicious day is going to take care of children's welfare through various collaborating, various with the government of India and other organizations. Thanks to our president and team, HSD and everybody, for bringing this great initiative, and all will be very usefully go to all of us. And Jai IAP, Jai Hind. Thank you. Over to you.
Dr. Vasant Kalatkar. Dr. Vasant Kalatkar.
Sorry, you're muted.
Give just a minute, please. Yeah. So, good afternoon all. Audible now? Hello?
Yes, sir.
Yes.
Audible. Good afternoon, respected Dr. Neelam, President, Indian Academy of 2026. And you all know that IAP is known for charitable activity.
Shoma Shankar, mute yourself. Shoma Shankar, mute yourself.
So that's why we got everything, that certificate of charitable organization, and there are so many programs we are doing, and that OJAS is one again program done by this brainchild of Dr. Neelam and team 2026 that is going to add one more feather in IIP. You know, the spirit of charity and service is not new to IIP. It lives in everyday's work of thousands of IIPians, those who give their time, knowledge, expertise, and resources to children and families who need them the most. You know, we are not wasting time. We are always doing work, whether it's in office, whether it's outside the office. We are always doing the charity. Today, we want to strengthen the spirit of service and take it to an even larger scale, more organized, sustainable, inclusive, and impactful. It should be known to community what service we are doing. So let's connect our branches, chapters, and individuals. I know every branch is doing well, everybody is doing charitable activity, but it should get connected. IPS should go be is a one strong national network of compassion and action. So, chalo, कंधे से कंधा मिलाओ, let's go for a charitable activity with spirit of service. Thank you.
Because charity
Dr.
is
Ruchira.
not only about what we give, it is also about how we serve. Let us ensure that knowledge reaches the community, healthcare reaches the underserved, and our collective expertise creates meaningful change. Let us make compassion a part of our everyday practice, not just on Charity Day, but throughout the year. Together, we can make every IAPN a partner in building a healthier future for every child. Let us serve, let us support, and let us strengthen.
Dr. Bhandari. I guess Dr. Bhandari couldn't join us. So, as you have seen, that we have always been talking about charity, and it is indeed what is important from all the experts that you heard, that today on the IIP Charity Day, we want to celebrate not only what we teach, but also what we give, the knowledge we share, but the lives we touch. It's not only the excellence we pursue within our profession, but the humanity we demonstrate beyond it. Let us not only ask, what can I teach? Let us also ask, what can I give? What can I give to the child? What can I give to the family? What can I give to the community? And what can I give to the nation at large? And what can we give together as IB? And in continuation of this year's 2026, we went in and marched ahead with further charitable programs, and we saw that this year we did a wonderful program which was with the nursing. This is for the first time in an Indian Academy of Pediatrics that we went on to do teaching modules for nurses, because it is they who are taking care of children, and the health infrastructure is there, the expertise is there. But to further reduce the neonatal and infant mortality rate, what is extremely important is to build the capacity of nurses who care for these children. And with that spirit, this year, we had more than 550 workshops across, which are covering thousands of nurses. And along with it, I'm extremely happy to share that we went in with this new program called OJAS. OJAS is a collaborative program for the adolescent and the juvenile. What we expect other associations to come forward and collaborate with us to take this into the schools, because it has been rightly said by WHO, by UNICEF, and also from what the government has started with the Ayushman school health program. These are all reflections. I mean, they did that. Along with it, they went into Anemia Mukt Bharat, then RBSK. So these are all various ways that they want to talk, and we united all this and brought about OJAS. And we'll speak a little more about OJAS as we are going to share the website. But before that, I also want to say that this year we went in with an IAP Care app. This app is for the hands of the parents so that they can monitor the growth of a child, what nutrition to give, and how to monitor the development. And it is the responsibility of all pediatricians to share this app with the patients so that they can know how the child is doing and also know what the child is eating by just putting on the app. And subsequently, in another couple of months, this app will also have the adolescent section added to it. And with that, I request that the website be shared so that we can talk about it and then we take the chief guest to talk. So in this OJAS move down, this OJAS has got 4 integrated pillars of school health. And we called it as OJAS, which is optimizing juvenile and adolescent health in schools. And also in Sanskrit, it means overall health, vitality, resilience, and positive energy. There could have been no better word than OJAS because it is really the spirit of what India needs towards moving to Viksit Bharat. It has 4 pillars, the OJAS portion, which helps to recognize children avoid junk foods. It talks about nutrition and healthy eating. So addressing anemia, malnutrition, and at the same time, overweight and obesity. And it talks about how a child should learn about monitoring his or her growth through connecting through IAP app. They can go and put their weight, age, and height, and they will know what growth they are. They will know whether they are underweight, overweight, or obese. Similarly, there is another pillar which is OJAS Manas, which is talking about the mental health, emotional, the life skills, and addressing the digital addiction and digital wellness that needs to be talked about to today's children, and how we need to talk about substance abuse from an expert like a pediatrician. OJAS Saksham is beyond this. We all need to understand that somewhere we are forgetting that we need to take care of our gender, respect for gender, menstrual hygiene, whether it is activity, whether it is immunization and preventing from illnesses, and whether it's an environment health, because pollution is a big thing now which children need to understand, very important, and get more suction. And Suraksha is a little bit talking to them about the first aid and road safety and drowning and accident prevention protection. But let me tell you, it is impossible to take all these pillars to school in one go in 45 minutes. So the program is going to be in such a way that each school can opt for 2 pillars if they want 45 minutes to 60 minutes. And if they want all the 4 pillars, then we take 40 minutes for the first pillar, 2 pillars, and then we give a 5-10 minutes break and take the next 2 pillars. But it is up to the school to decide whether they want to go with Manas or they want to go with OJAS and Suction. And with that, I would request Dr. Samir, he will also tell, and before I say, I just want to say that we've got experience in school health because in 2023, Triple S program was introduced by past President Dr. Pendra, where we took it to the schools and we have some experience in that. But we did a pilot project of this holistic health of school children. And in the pilot, we covered 10 schools with 500, and it was truly, truly appreciated by the students as well as the teachers. What we envisage is not limiting ourselves to the students. We are going to take this. There is OJAS and there is Bal OJAS. Bal OJAS will become a cartoon next. OJAS is for juvenile, which is above 10 years to 18. And in this, we are going to also talk to the teachers. So we are making a teachers champion in the next go. And in the teachers champion, so even if the pediatrician moves out, the teachers will continue to talk about it, thus empowering the child and the parents at large about the health issues. And we had a launch last month, which was truly appreciated by the Ministry of Health and Family Welfare, Deputy Commissioner, Dr. Zoya Ali Rizvi, and Dr. Miss Mary Claude, the Chief Nutrition in Charge UNICEF, and they've already signed a letter of intent with me, wherein they want this program to be taken to the schools and the rest. And CII has already signed their letter with us. And today we have two strong people who are visiting us from NGOs, whom we want to showcase how the school project is going to talk about predominantly the non-communicable diseases, which is a major threat to children at large. Before I go on to talk more about who can register, I would request Dr. Hemant Shah, who is SIF, which is Children Investment Fund Foundation, Director Nutrition India, to give comments on what he thought about this endeavor of ours, OJAS, which is going to be the pediatricians, but it is not only the pediatricians. Eventually, we're going to have trainers and we are going to have the teachers who are going to become the health champions at large. And this is how we will address what the government wants us to do along with that. So over to Hemant Shah and Sati. May I request you to mute everybody so that Dr. Hemant is able to speak.
Great. Thank you so much, ma'am. And it's a pleasure to be part of this important initiative. So I'll just briefly talk about SIF and then some of the work that we are doing, and then what is some of my initial thoughts in how best we can collaborate. So SIF is Children's Investment Fund Foundation. It is one of the biggest philanthropy working globally for children. And in India, we work with multiple state governments, with central government on issues related to children. Uh, Within SIF, we are targeting low birth weight as a major sort of initiative because, as you know, like in India, there has been massive improvement in under five mortality, infant mortality, but not so much in early neonatal mortality. And obviously, a major portion of this early neonatal mortality is also contributed by preterm and low birth weight. So there are around seven things that we are doing now, eight. So those are working on maternal anemia, maternal nutrition, clinical care during pregnancy, increasing the age at pregnancy, spacing between pregnancy, pre-pregnancy care, and taking care of low birth weight babies in home settings. So that is something that we are also closely coordinating with Government of India in terms of how best to operationalize home-based care. And that is something, it will be great to have follow-up conversations in some of the states that we are working, because the idea is that in government setting, they will identify some of the children who might need additional care, specialist care. And is there a way that some of the NGOs that we are working in ground, they can coordinate with the state chapters, district chapters of IAP, and work with them to create a mechanism through which children who are identified within government setting, they can be referred for specialist care, and what is the kind of joint work that we can do. The other thing that we are actively exploring is adolescent health, and that's why this OJAS initiative becomes very important. So, in adolescent health, as you know, like if we are able to work with adolescents, we are almost sort of helping three generations. And in that sense, we are also initiating a lot of work. We are currently doing a lot of work on secondary education. So there are a lot of schools that our partners are working with, and there is a possibility of aligning with those partners, with those schools, so that along with secondary education, there could be a distinct component of health. So obviously there is a lot of potential on working with the schools, but with some of the partners, we are also trying to think through what could be the platforms for out of school. Because what we have also realized in some of the work that we do in education is that most of the dropouts start happening after standard 8th. That's where some of the scholarships of government also help, but there's still large number of children who are out of schools. So while schools are very important platforms, and definitely we can have follow-up conversation with individual chapters to think through what is the kind of program that would work in government system with IAP support on schools. But is there anything else that we can also think about other platforms for out of school children? But thank you so much for this opportunity. And I think there are two areas that I definitely want to have follow up conversation. Home
Yeah,
based
we
care
will
of,
actually follow,
yeah,
but thank you so much for
yeah,
joining in. I just wanted that you need to see what we are doing through the
sure.
pillars that I
Yeah.
talked about. because it is really a very holistic school health program, and who better than the doctors would take it better. And we also have with us today Dr. Shailendra, sorry, Mr. Shailendra or Dr. Shailendra? Shailendra, are you there?
Yeah, I'm here. Dr. Shailendra.
Great. So he's the senior nutrition, Dr. Shailendra is the senior nutrition program officer from Gates Foundation. And what does he think about OJAS today?
Thanks, Dr. Neelam. Pleasure to be here, and thank you all for the opportunity to speak on behalf of the Gates Foundation. Gates Foundation is an international non-profit organization, a philanthropic foundation, essentially involved in providing support to initiatives that are focused on improving maternal and child health, reduce infectious disease burden, and also pull out millions of people from poverty. Both the first and the second initiative, which is focused on maternal and child health and infectious disease, children are very severely affected in all of this. And so our work, therefore, kind of overlaps with the work of the Indian Association of Pediatrics, and with all those doctors and healthcare professionals who work with children. We are, as Hemang said, we also work very closely with governments, both national, central government, as well as state governments. I think school health is something that we believe has a very strong and a very deep impact on the life of the population overall. I think that the work that Dr. Neelam and team have come up with, which is OJAS, is very, very relevant and probably the need of the hour at this point in time. While the governments do quite a bit of work in the school health space, I think the role of the pediatricians and the associations of pediatricians in improving and enhancing the health of children in the schools, I think would be absolutely necessary, because at the end of the day, it is important that the right specialist looks at the right kind of problems among the children. So I think we wholeheartedly welcome this fantastic initiative, and I'm sure that over the next few days, weeks, we'll be able to identify where are the synergies where we can work together on this wonderful initiative. Congratulations to the entire team for having made this happen. All the best.
Thank you so much, Shailendra. And we will demonstrate the website soon. But I wanted to go to the first project, because I will subsequently have. So can I request Saji to share the presentation so that we talk about the portion a little bit before we get into the website? Saji, can you share the portion? Website? The presentation. Gulshan, are you sharing it?
Gulshan is sharing, ma'am.
Okay, thank you so much. So, dear friends, there are close to 100 people. We are here today, and four of us, I wanted to first congratulate the entire team. So, the team is, as you can see, besides me, Dr. Singruvelu, Vasant, Ruchira, and Alok, which is team 26 and 27, which are talking about this OJAS. And the core team with us is that though this program was conceptualized by your truly, but the slides have been prepared and authored by two of us, myself and Dr. Deepak Pandey, and the whole core team. We're very grateful. They've been bearing with me with the so much of delay. Dr. Ramesh Bajania, who's been the national coordinator, Dr. Soma Shekhar as the national convener, and Dr. Satish Agarwal, Dr. Samir Shah as the national technical advisor, who's going to look into the program needs to be uploaded on the website, and anybody can ask for the program, which is going to show after my talk how a person can go on, either a doctor can ask for it and automatically you'll get the slides. You won't get it. The slides cannot be downloaded unless the person who needs it applies there without that. It's not like automatically it'll come from IEP office. You have to go send in your application. You have to be an IEP member, and then you have to download the application once it is approved, which we will discuss. And then you have to upload the photographs and upload what has been done. And after that, there'll be a small financial thing for the logistics that would be involved in case of the stationery, the banners, as well as the transport, something. Those reimbursement would be done with the funds that we would have to take this forward. And next, so OJAS, as we said, is optimizing juvenile and adolescent health in school, and it symbolizes the essential life energy that governs the overall well-being. And in Sanskrit, it includes physical strength, mental clarity, endurance, immunity, and vitality. And when we talk about this, the first thing that comes in our mind is poshan. Poshan is nutrition. How we now know that it is only through a healthy diet that you can, what you eat today shapes what you're going to be tomorrow. All the metabolic related health diseases, which are secondary to overweight, obesity, and associated problems like anemia, and along with it, the diabetes and liver diseases, etc. Everything, your gut microbiome, everything is shaped by what you eat. So it really shapes what you are tomorrow, today, what you eat. Next. So, dear students, today I want to tell you that what is a balanced, diverse diet. Now, when we say balanced, that means all the elements of food should be there. What are the food groups? Number one, what do we eat? What, like rice, roti, ragi, millets. These are called cereals and grains. We need to take pulses. That means we take dal. So dal comes under the legumes, the pulses and the beans that you eat, whether it's rajma, rungi, and vegetables and fruits are other sections. You eat a little bit of oil in your food, and then you have roots like potato, tubers, this, and then those who milk is another component of your diet, whether it is in the form of milk, curd, or cheese, and eggs, and some of them who eat non-veg, that is a product. So a balanced diet means you should at least get 5 of the products that you're eating. Now, why do we talk about a pyramid? So the base is this pyramid is talking about the grains, vegetables, and a fruit. They are very important, and protein pulses. These are your base and are eating. But majority of the time, children, we are seeing that you all are taking less vegetables and salad. And because of that, there is rising diseases that are coming. You have to understand the importance of vegetables and fruit, which give you vitamins and minerals. Not only you need calories, which comes from carbohydrates like rice, roti. You need proteins, which comes from dal, legumes, eggs, non-veg, milk. But at the same time, you need some amount of fat in your diet. And the fat, healthy fat, is also through nuts, seeds, that besides what we take like olive oil, sarsoka oil, and saturated fats like ghee should be little limited, and we should avoid fried. So this picture beautifully depicts so many glasses of water. We should always remember that the bottle that you carry in the school, the water bottle, should not be a 250 or a 500. Please carry a 1 liter bottle at least, because throughout the day, please make sure that you drink more than 8 glasses of water in a day, so that it is next. It is the source of it which gives you complete the strength, the mechanism in your body, that's how the body runs. You need for those chemical reactions water, and nearly 2/3 of your body actually contains water. So it's very important for life. and for mental clarity too. So, a balanced diet, this picture, what am I trying to show? I'm just trying to tell you all that what you eat in a day, keep half of your food should be filled with vegetables, which is three-fourths in the half, and a quarter is the fruit. 4:1 ratio, we say. Therefore, at the plate, it is written 400 and 100. So we forget most of the time to eat vegetables, which is very bad for health. You can see I've depicted colors there. So all this, including salads, whether it is kira, tomato, these are also very important for us to take, and leafy vegetables are essential in our body. And along with it, a quarter of your diet should be what you're eating in the form of cereals that we talked about, like rice, roti, millets, corn, bajra, jawar. And a small proportion should be the fat. But don't forget, your protein comes from pulses, legumes, nut, and a certain amount of eggs. And those who eat non-veg, flesh foods are also source of protein. You don't have to take liter of milk, but remember at least 300 ml of milk in a day, either in the form of a milk or curd or paneer is also preferably homemade, is good for health. Next. Why do you need a balanced diet, children? You need a balanced diet not only for running your body's mechanism, how your heart functions, your liver, kidney, brain, but besides that, it is most important, which you can understand, is the growth. And when I'm talking about the growth, it is not only your weight, but also your height. And it is extremely important to keep a balance and a healthy so that you don't get overweight too. Your brain, how it works, how you learn, how your memory depends on what you eat actually. So you must have heard your teachers, your parents telling you even during the exam, eat healthy, avoid junks. That is because the brain growth, and even in adolescent period, the brain is growing. How to fight against infection? You may find your friends falling more ill. That is because the vitamins and minerals comes from fruits and vegetables. Your overall wellness, feeling good, emotional connect, and performance in sports and in your studies, everything, including how you want to look, everything is dependent on what you're going to eat. And that is why next we talked about the healthy eating. So did you have breakfast today before coming? Well, breakfast is so important. And as the name indicates, you have to break the overnight fast. And therefore, morning eating is extremely important because it will refuel your body after the overnight fast. It gives you the energy for the body and the brain for you to work in the school, for you to learn. And if you are full, you won't have craving to eat anything. And you may end up eating wrong things from the school, canteen. And here we are today to talk to your teachers. We are talking to your teachers as well as your principal to make sure that your canteen is got healthy food. So children, does your school have good canteen with healthy food? Well, if not, don't worry. We are here to talk to the principal and make sure your healthy food comes there. Because if you eat healthy and you avoid fries, which we will discuss more, you will not be obese and your moods will be good and you'll fight against the infection. Next. So this is simple hacks I want to teach you all. The first slide, I've already talked to you all about the proportions. What I meant about the proportion is half your plate with vegetables and fruit, 4 times the veggies and salad as compared to this. Only a quarter of what you eat will be cereals, and the rest you should remember to eat proteins because it's good for immunity. Now, the second picture I've showed you so many colors, it looks like a rainbow. But these colors are so important because different colors have different chemicals and different vitamins and different minerals, which though small in amount, but they really take care of the entire machinery of our body. And to be physically and mentally fit, you need all these colors that you need to eat. And when you feel like drinking, please don't go for any sugar or added drinks. They're really, really bad for health. Go for water. Water is the essence of life and hydration. And then you might ask me, how much should I eat in breakfast and lunch and dinner? Well, breakfast should be more. And that is why don't come to school without a breakfast. 30% of what you're going to eat throughout the day should be at breakfast. It is not me. It is science. It is studies which have shown us that the best time to eat and the body can digest is in the morning breakfast time. And then your dinner should be less. So 10% less than your breakfast. So make it 20%. And the remaining balance, have your lunch and 2 midtime snacks in the form of a midday meal, a break you get. And in the evening, when you go back to school, some of you may like to have a glass of milk or a little light snacks. So that can be there, which your mom is going to make. So never miss breakfast, that's my saying. And especially to all the boys and the girls, you should be mindful eating. You should make sure what you're eating is healthy. And don't see screen, because when you see screen, you're not mindful. And if you're not mindful, then the food which is going to do good to you, you will not even know it. It should be like in our ancient generations, we used to say we should pray the food that we eat, because that is the one which is giving us energy, OJAS in our body. It's quite a good fun to cook at home. Try it with your mom, and especially boys, it is really important to be learning cooking, because later on also in the life, if you want to always eat healthy, cooking is something which also the boys need to know. In the Western countries, people know, and India, our boys knows less. Now, when we are doing everything, this Gen Z, this younger generation Alpha has to learn cooking at home too. And sometimes when you're cooking, you may want to have your own hack. You may want to add something more. What it could be? Some of you may want lemon in that, which I've not shown. Some of you may want dhania, some of you may want pudina, some of you. So that is your hack. Typical me, I would go with all the masala, Indian masala, that is small but good for our immunity too, and our gut bacteria too. Next. So today I also want to teach you something. It's not also about eating. Did you know that in India, the girls, adolescent girls who are from 10, around 14, 15 years or 18, they are anemic, they are pale. And half of them are pale. Half of the Indian girls are pale. And we need to respect this adolescent, because we know what is nature. Nature is this: adolescent girls have to be mothers someday. They have to have babies. And if they are anemic, if they are pale, how will they take care of themselves and they coming baby too later on? And how can you be active in sports, read, write, or have memory? So therefore, identify. How to identify? If you think you look pale, please do consult your doctor or your healthcare professional, pediatrician, so that you can check your hemoglobin, and it is should be more than 11, so that you're not anemic. But if you feel you're getting easily tired, or you have some spots in your eyes, or you feel you're not growing well in your height, or you think rather your waist is growing more, then in that case also these are bad signs. You need to consult a doctor, and I will show you some charts after this. And simple things, if you find yourself that you're gaining weight rapidly, or you're losing weight rapidly, or you don't feel like eating, or you feel like eating too much, or your knuckles are getting black, or your skin is getting dull, and your hair is brittle, and your lips and the angles and tongue are also getting red and cracks, that means your diet is not proper. That means you're not eating good amount of vegetables and fruits and proteins that is going to take care of your body. So this is where you need to visit next. These are the places where you must visit. And what is the IAP? IAP stands for Indian Academy of Pediatrics, which is all the pediatricians society. And we have our growth charts wherein you just have the weight and the height, and also your waist circumference plot, and we can tell you. And I'm going to give you a smart clue in the end before I finish. How can you know your growth chart? Wait and see. You should ask me, ma'am, what did you say about the growth chart? But I'm sure you would have visited your parents, and if you don't have a growth chart, go back to your mom today and ask, where is my growth chart? I want to see how I am doing on my weight and height and my waist. That is one message I want you to carry. Next. So this is the thing that I want to say. JUNK is an acronym. It's not the wrong spelling. I've deliberately used it as an acronym because J stands for junk food. What is junk? Anything which is high in fats or in sugar or in salt is junk. And we'll talk about it, how to read the articles. So, we keep eating these chips. They are ultra processed foods. Anything which has too much preservative, sweetness, coloring, flavoring, emulsifiers, these are not good for us. Read labels for them. Even homemade cook, if they deeply fried, they can be bad for us that you need to take care of. Anything which is sugary, a big no, because sugar is so bad for health. We always thought it was fat, but now science has shown us that it is sugars which damage your liver. And once your liver gets damaged, then you are predisposed to overweight, obesity, diabetes, heart disease. You must have seen in your family people having blood pressure, heart disease, etc. That's all because of this unhealthy uh, lifestyle that they have followed majority of the time, at least in more than 3/4. That is the reason which we don't want you to stay away from sugary. If you want to have nimbu pani, have plain nimbu pani, no salt, no sugar. Both are equally bad. Next. So now let us come to the figure challenge. In 2 seconds, I want to see who's the child who can tell me which is junk and which is not junk. Okay, which is not junk. 10 seconds. There you go. There you go. So total, how many were junks? Well, 8 out of the 10 in this are junks. And the only 2 non-junk was corn and groundnut. So these were the children who did it right. So next, now I'm sure all the CBSE schools and all schools now are having the sugar boards. And I also want you to make the oil board. Did the teacher ask you to make any sugar board and oil board? Yes, and we've also talked about sugar, salt to them. So just imagine, look at this figure. Can you believe it? How many spoons of sugar is in that can? Oh my God, 6 to 8 spoons of sugar. How much sugar are you supposed to eat in a day? Did you know that? It is just around 4 to 6 spoons. Not me. WHO, World Health Organization is telling that you need that little sugar. And imagine if you've had one bottle of any cola drinks, anything. It may be Thumbs Up, it may be cola, it may be any Pepsi. All this have very high sugars. And even you don't realize you take certain flavored milk. You think you're taking milk, but look at the sugar in that. I put in the packets the sugar. So all this and this, energy drinks, so-called, not good for health. Please stay away from these energy drinks also. You think that they are not cola drinks, but look at the sugar content. They are almost same like cola drinks, nothing different. And even this tea, which is flavored, that also has so much of sugar. It is better to have a simple tea if you rather than taking this tea. And at the end, the best is the water. It has no sugar, and that's the best thing for you. And then you must be thinking, when I talk about the oil board, it is only what you get food outside. No, even at home, you can be doing wrong if you make such kachoris and samosas and pizzas and pakoras and fried banana chips and French fries. All this are deeply fried, which is bad for health. If you occasionally feel like taking, go and ask your mother to do it in a fitter so that it is not oily but still roasted or baked. Next. And the burger which I showed, the white flour was bad, and we'll talk about it a little more because we call it as the poison, the white flour, the white poison. So you should also learn how to read labels. Have you ever read a label? Did your parents tell you how to read a label, or your teacher? Well, you must know how much quantity it is. You must see what is the serving. Suppose it says 200 grams, but the serving size is 40 grams. So in that 40 gram, are they quoting the calories or they are quoting the calories in the entire packet? Read carefully. See in this, the serving size is 35 grams. So per serving, what is the calorie it is giving? So if you end up eating 100 grams, then you took 3 times this. So the calories which you read should have been 3 times. You should also look for sodium. Sodium is nothing but the salt which I was saying is bad for health. It gives rise to blood pressure and heart diseases later. So nowadays we say no to extra salt. Don't put the sprinkle salt in your, this pickles and poppers and adding extra salt on salads. Nowadays we say no to this. Recent literature is telling these are all giving rise to high blood pressure problems and heart disease, and it's increasing in India because we got habituated to eating all this pickles and poppers and all this. Let us say no to it. Also, limit your salt. Don't add extra salt. Sodium is already there in your food. And be careful about the saturated fat. What is saturated fat? Anything जो जम जाती है, like ghee जम जाता है, coconut oil जम जाता है, like that. But do you remember when your mama uses mustard or vegetable oil? It is liquid. So that is unsaturated fat. Another one message, go and tell your mom. How does she get oil? Should tell her she should rotate oil. She should not use only one oil. Little olive oil, little groundnut oil, little vegetable oil, little ghee. Everything is good. Keep a balance. Avoid fats. Next. So I spoke to you about anemia. How is anemia? Majority of the time it is due to iron deficiency, and in vegetarians it is also due to B12 deficiency. And eat green leafy vegetables, and even jo dal hai, legumes hai, dried fruit, seeds, these are all sources of iron. And not only girls, boys are also deficient in and have 1/3 of the boys have have anemia in India. So we should be worried about this. And those who eat non-veg, yes, those are iron-rich foods. Next. So we have talked today to you that so many things about nutrition, how much to eat, how much breakfast to eat, what is a balanced diet, what is a food pyramid. And I hope you remember, but don't be worried. We've also empowered your teacher. Your teacher is also listening to us, and she will keep talking to you about this. Whenever you have breaks, you can always discuss diet and nutrition with your teacher. We are going to leave this material with her to talk to you. Okay, let's do a quick match the following now. And let me see. Iron, which one? Yes, that's true. Anemia. So I said it prevents and improves anemia. Protein. Anybody can guess? Yes, builds muscle. Calcium, vitamin D. Yes, it's for bones. And let's go to water first. Hydration. What is it? I said it'll keep you everything, your concentration, your mood, your sports performance. Water is very essential. What is vegetable and fruits? So many times I said it should be half your total intake. Salads, vegetables, fruits and all. This is very important. Why? Because that is going to build actually the more your immunity and your performance, everything improves with this vitamins and minerals, and the small amount of mutibar seeds and nuts that makes your brain smart. Next. So before I end, don't forget about this IAP Care app. Ask your mother or you yourself, when you go home, you can download the IAP Care app and just see, you eat whatever you're eating, you show that picture and it will tell you how much calories it is and what you're eating. You want to just plot your weight height, it'll tell you you're underweight or overweight or obese. And this is what the app is going to be talking to you. And all the resources that we've done, your school teacher will get it and she will download it from the OJAS app that we are going to talk about. OJAS is the program I spoke today. Next. And so, dear friends, that now let us all stand. We are going to stand up. That's lovely. And let's take a pledge. So, I will eat breakfast daily. Please repeat after me. I will eat, and say it loudly. I will eat at least 5 food groups in a day. And you remember the food groups we taught? We said vegetable, fruits, dal, grains, cereal, roots, tubers, milk, eggs. These were all the fruits that we taught. And one small fruit, we said seeds, nuts, and oil. So remember, 5 parts at least you should eat in a day. Drink plenty of water. I will drink plenty of water. I will fill half my plate with veggies and fruits, a quarter with the proteins and cereals, and I will limit junk food, that is junk food, the ultra processed foods, the fried foods, and I will prefer healthy and home cooked foods. Thank you. Hope you enjoyed it as much as I did being with you all today. Thank you so much. Dr. Samir, you would want to just show the app how they can ask for it, or we go to Manas and then we do it. Dr. Ramesh, you will do the Manas, please.
Madam, can I show website first?
Yes, just 2 minutes, you show the website, and then Ramesh, in the meantime, will get his presentation to share. Ramesh, you want to share the presentation?
Yeah, already said, ma'am.
Okay,
No
then
problem.
you will share. Let him show that thing. Thank you so much, everybody, for listening to the portion part that we diligently prepared with Shiddat.
Right. So this is the website where we have all being the pediatricians or the any school personnel who want to register for the program. We having a 3 different places. One is the send the request the about bring the school at OJAS is there. Right side also we having a bring the school OJAS is there, and the below in the website we having a bring a school request is there, and we having a IAP members. Any IAP member can do the registration and go for a request for the school program. So in school request, I just showcased on clicking on the school request, the any school personnel who want to register his school for the, all the getting for the more inquiry about the this our OJAS program, they can put their name, school name, city name, state name, their address, email address, and their contact number, and preferred date of the program. And if they want to get the more detail on in specific program related message, they can put this message and send the request. Same thing is for the any NGO or any government or the private organizations can be part of this OJAS program. They can also ask for the such type of the request, and once they will say submit their request, the our concern office bearer from the office, they will directly divert it same to the our own IAP members who are the coordinator of the same concern area. Regarding the members, the proposed members, the first the when we are want to go for the first time, registration there should be coming like that way. Well, once we will register that, but before that, if once you click onto the IAP login, you will be asked that if you are the first time user, means you are not registered for the any program, you have to register for from here. Once you click on this registration, just you have to enter your central IAP registration number, and the every all detail will be automatically coming to the uh, portal, and that will be verified by the our backend, and ultimately all the data will be fetched itself, and you have to just create your password and complete the registration. Once you complete your registration, you have to go to the login page. Here the login page, we having a central IAP number, that what you have to remember, and you have to enter your password and just go for the sign in. Once you having a sign in, there is a full dashboard with you here where the proposal of the IAP member can done by. After the submission of the proposal, you can check here what this proposal is approved or not. And starting with that download resource is a very important thing, because if you want to get this letter for the school as a document purpose, you can directly get this letter from here. You also download the SOP for the how you can conduct the OJAS in a proper specific manner, what the madam has at presently talked, how you can go for that. So this will be the easiest way to get it, download the letter for school, and that you can sign it out and filling the after filling all the details you can submit to school, and you can also download the SOP. Once the you can get the approval from the school, you can directly click onto the proposal part, and you have to request into the systematic manner, that including the full name of the school, which date the workshop is going to organize, which is the city and district, place, state, and ownership type is a very important thing, which type of the school is there, which category of the school is there, and which composition of the school is there. That what you have to put out
We
in a
can go
proper.
a little faster. And
Yeah, ma'am.
also, I wanted to say if there is any help needed, we've already given the phone number, assistance number. Please showcase that also so that they can
Right,
showcase that. They can help.
right.
There will be from the IFP office. Presently, we have Mr. Gulshan who's going to be assisting, and the office number is there for any assistance that is needed. The number is on the website.
Right. So once we will submit this proposal in a proper systematic that form. Again, in dashboard, you will get the one submission. You can check the submission is approved or not. Once you will submit, the our backend will check the detail, and then you will get the approval. And once you will get the approval, you can get the all the OJAS presentation also, speaker note also, and you can download that, and you can directly do the all the activity at the school. Once activity done, you can have to just submit that report by clicking on this button, and you have to keep all the details that is asked for. And once you will the majority things is autofill where when you are added in the proposal, and you can also submit the specific 10 photograph. The specific few photographs are very specific, that including the faculty photograph, and the speaker speaking to the audience, and the audience photograph is very important. But remaining also other photograph you can put out. You can also submit the video link if you are taken from the school during your program. And finally, the specific feedback you can given regarding the travel a few allowance. Already madam has talked in his primary talk that few things will be given. More detail will be given once it becomes a proper
Correct.
proposal is finalized. Madam, you want to add for
Yeah,
this?
I just want to say initially we are just looking for the initial at the end of every three, if any branch, a smaller branch, if they find any issue in preparing, like normally we will say the sugar board, or they want to prepare a banner, the branch usually supports. But God forbid, if any branch has any issue, they can write, and we will be able to look into those funds, and dedicated funds have been kept aside for this work of the school program. And as you can see, it is a collaborative. We will soon be able to get a lot more into this kitty, but right now we have a decent amount to take care of several, at least more than 5,000 schools, plus we already have enough in the kitty. Thank you so much.
Right. So this is
Because
all over
it
the.
is the pediatrician who's spending his time. Yes, it is charity, but for any transport allowance or the logistics, if then the branch needs it and they are requesting, then for the coordinator or the local, and each branch we have you would be getting a mail which says all the branch secretaries and presidents, their names we've kept on the website. By default, you are the going to be the coordinators. Dr. Ramesh has been doing such phenomenal job. Every state is made a group where people have already, Maharashtra, I must compliment Dr. Joshi, Dr. Renu, salute to you, and the Deepa, of course, who's in our core team. But the maximum number who volunteered have been the highest from that state, followed by the other states, probably Gujarat, etc. But we need In every state, we're making a group called OJAS and the state name so that the coordinators can have volunteers. We train and we talk properly, and we are giving you an entire manual. The manual will contain about the slides. What I spoke to you, I will give in a slide format to you. And this video will be uploaded. Those who want to go for the school, they can go and visit the video and do self learning also with the notes we will give you. And
Right, ma'am.
over to Dr. Ramesh. Thank you for bearing the patience and for all the work you've been doing diligently. I request you to kindly, it is just like I'm so passionate. I was quite touched when he wrote this word. She put her sweat and blood. Thank you, Ramesh, for those
Thank you.
words. It meant a lot to me because last night till 3 we were working. I wanted every slide notes and all. And Deepak is not here with us, but Deepak is my Tani, my buddy. Both of us have worked into each slide that we have showcased to you all. Thank you so much for it. And over to Dr. Ramesh for Manas, which is brilliant. Brilliant. Over to you.
Thank you, Neelam ma'am. So, good afternoon, all the dignitaries who have joined today's program. Uh, Dear students, what Neelam ma'am talked to you was about Poshan. I'll be speaking on Manas, that is mental health. Presentation, please, Gulshan. Yeah, next. Yes. So, as we all know, Manas means the mind, and it is all about mental health. So, what is mental health? Students, it's a state of well being in which an individual realizes his or her own abilities, then can cope with the normal stresses of life, can work productively, and is able to make a contribution to his or her community. Next slide, please. Now, you must have seen in your class that some of the colleagues are very good in decision making, some are bad in planning, some are emotionally very labile. Sometimes they are low, sometimes they are elated, sometimes they lose the control impulsively, quickly they get angry, or sometimes they go depressed. Some of your students in your class, they are very good in skill acquisition as compared to other students. Have you ever imagined that why it is so? Because there are different areas, like it has been shown in different colors in this brain. They are responsible for all types of different functions. And mind where yours is an age where impulse control is very weak. So whatever you do it impulsively. Next slide, please. So what is manas? What is mental health? It is like about feeling good. Sometimes you feel bad, sometimes you feel good, but ideal health is feeling good. You can manage the routine stress. You are in healthy relationships with your colleagues, with your parents, with your neighbors, with your friends, and you are very clear about achieving your goals. You are able to cope up with the stress and strain of the life. Next. So here, students, the figure is shown is Manas wheel. If you look at it, then it is a holistic framework for mental well-being in the OJAS Manas model. It displays different 9 segments: friends, growth, physical activity, sleep, family, self-esteem, education, safety, nutrition. Now, all these 9 segments, if they work continuously in harmony with each other, then and then there is a continuous improvement and positive development over time. So all 9 segments should work in a harmony. Next. Now I would like to call 6 students from your class. Yes, first three from right and left. You come here and just answer all these questions. All of you will tell me that what stresses you the most. First, you are worried, you are anxious of what? Exams? Exams. Always, even we, today also, while appearing for lecture, we are nervous. So everyone is till in a physiological limit, is nervous during exam. Some of them are wary of social media because recently I had one son of my friend and he was telling me that, uncle, you saw my photo in Facebook. I told him that it was very good. He told me that last time I had 90 likes, but this time the likes are less. So such type of stress in youngsters, we never imagine, because we never used to have such type of stress during our times, but it is the fact. Then about body image, most of the time they watch models, the film stars, and then they compare themselves with those figurehead. They don't know that how many surgeries they have undergone. So such could be the stress. Then some of them, they have stress from the friends that my friend is not talking to me. This my girlfriend is talking to some other colleague of mine. And some of they are anxious about bullying. Bullying mind well, it is not only physical, but it could be verbal also. And some of them, due to all this tension, they have a poor sleep or low mood. So these are all the stress triggers. Next slide, please. Why we are worried about this stress? Because if it is over the period for prolonged time, then it can trigger the problems like poor mental health and the problems related to it. We should not ignore digital hygiene and cyber wellness because this is a new era where every child, every adolescent, every parent, they have their own phone. Why it is important? Because it has a tremendous addictive potential. We have seen, and in fact, whenever I pass to my hospital, I see 8, 10 friends. They are sitting. They all are busy in scrolling. No one is talking to each other. So the personal interactions, talks, it has been replaced by screen. And it impacts all domains of health, like physical, mental, social, etc. Next slide, please. So the indiscriminate use can cause the above problems. Now, which are the red flags? How can you identify? In your class, you must have observed some of your colleagues who are suddenly irritable. A previously jovial friend of yours suddenly becomes easily irritable. Some of them, they have a low mood and they are anxious. Some of them, they have poor sleep. And then physical issues related to it, like they suffer from headache, body ache, ill health, etc. And an average student who was regular in doing homework, suddenly he is neglecting the work. Moreover, there is a social withdrawal. They like to be withdrawn. They don't mix up with the friends. And you must have seen in your class some of the notorious students. They sneak device and then they tell you that let us watch reels, let us watch these trailers, etc. And ultimately lying because they are always addicted to the screen. So in order to save themselves, they lie frequently, particularly to their parents. Next slide, please. So these are the screen devices safeguards. There are issues and there are safeguards also. So first of all, you set the limits. You decide that today I'm going to watch screen for not more than 2 hours, and mind well. Screen means iPad, tablet, TV, mobile, everything. Then the responsible use, such as like not posting any offensive message to anyone. Correct? Then, how many of you know about 20-20-20 rules? No one. Okay, let me tell you. You take a 20-second break after every 20 minutes, and then you look imaginary at 20 feet away. Because this is very important. You must have seen your friends. They are so engrossed in screen that at times they, for 1 or 1.5 hours, they hardly see outside. Recently, I was examining a child, 13 months old child, was sitting and the parents, they had given him the phone. And all the while he was scrolling, all the while. Even he didn't look at me, even after my examination was over. So this is the new era. Then there are safety privacy. You must use standard devices because substandard devices, they have a problem. Then intelligent use of privacy settings. If you go to your Google Chrome, then there are privacy settings. You must utilize. Then you should install antiviral system because it gives you protection against it. And not sharing personal details with anyone online. Remember, you should not disclose your details to anyone. This is very, very important. Now, there should be a balance in your online and offline life. How? As soon as you go to your home, You spend your time with your family, you spend your time with your friends after doing some creative activities like tree plantation, cycling, etc. There are so many things. Then cyberbullying is a new problem. Many of you, I'm very sure that you must also must have experienced this thing. But you should not keep silence. You should report it. To whom? To your parents, to your teacher, to your elder brother, or so. Because even someone abuse you verbally, then also it is a cyberbullying. Then respond the posture. You must have seen that those who are busy in mobile, they are curled up like a monkey. I mean, they hardly look at outside, and I'm totally curled up. So their spinal column, the orthopedic neck, the hands, they suffer from orthopedic problems. So you must use the correct posture. Then verify before forwarding. Nowadays what has happened, that any news immediately you share it on WhatsApp with your friends, with your family groups, but first you should verify that whether it is a true correct news or fake news, because in this era of infodemics, more and more information is coming, but 90% it is wrong. Then avoid strangers. Suppose someone approaches you online and say that, beta, we were living together in Shimla 10 years back. Your papa and me are very close friends, but you should avoid strangers. You should not fall in trap of all these things, because most of them, they are involved in illegal activities. And if at all, if you are victim to it, then discuss this thing. Seek help. Seek help from your teacher, from your mother, from your brother, from your father, but report it, discuss, and seek help. Next. So these are all the safeguards for mental health. First of all, you know yourself. You recognize your emotions, that I am low, today I'm jovial. So you must understand your strengths, you must understand your weakness, and developing an internal locus of control. Then think positive. You should be full of optimism, should be full of self-compassion. And if at all you have problem, then there are relaxation techniques like yoga, the progressive muscular relaxations, etc. And you should have strong relations. You should have at least 2 to 3 friends whom you can always ventilate whatever problems you have. Now there are so many situations where that there is a trigger to become angry, but in such type of situation, you just take a 6 second pause. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. You count six for 6 seconds, and most of the time your anger will disappear. Then you go for regular exercise. Why? Because regular exercise releases the happy hormone. So you have that feeling of happiness, and that takes away the stress. Then count blessings and express gratitude. This is very, very important. Most of you are studying in such a good school. You have got your own vehicle, your own bungalow or flat. You must be thankful to Almighty. You must express your gratitude to your parents, even to your servant, even to your driver, to anyone. Then mindfulness, what is it? That you be in the present, you be non-judgmental. Whatever conversation you listen to it, you be non-judgmental. Then you assess, and then you speak your mind. This is very important. Then there are problem solving skills. So learn to approach problems in systemic and solution focused way. Positive self-talk. Daily, you stand in front of mirror and talk to yourself. You say that I'm good, I can do it, I'm confident. This reinforces your self-esteem. Then take breaks in self-care. Every now and then you should not be busy going to school, then coming home, eating, and then again taking textbooks in your hands, then phones. You have some break, because that is also necessary. And if at all still you have a problem, then seek help when needed, because mental health problems, before even it sets it, you can prevent it. So it is not always so that if you have a problem, then you go to the specialty. Before that, also they help you in preventing the problems. Next slide, please. Now, in this era of nuclear family, during our time, they were joint families. So 7, 8 members were in family. But nowadays, Your parents, they are only two, and probably you are only child, so hardly two or three people. So if you are living in a loneliness, then it is a silent stressor. You know why silent stressor? Because in such type of situation your body secretes cortisol hormone, and cortisol is a bad hormone because it's responsible for swelling. It weakens your immunity system. That immunity gives you protection against the diseases, and ultimately it increases the risk of diseases of heart and blood vessels. Next slide, please. So, to avoid loneliness, you should be surrounded by your friends, and definitely it diminishes the level of cortisol, and you are jovial, you are stress free. Next slide, please. This is very, very important, and I would like to stress sometime more on this particular topic, because nowadays, due to availability of money, availability of drugs and other substance abuses, there's a lot of use amongst youngsters like of your age. You know, the first use, if your friend offers that at my home, my parents have gone out and let us do a party, then that would be your first use. But remember that first use can lead to lifelong addiction. It is not cool at all to use addictive substances. When I was a child in villages, the open truck used to come in the man who was distributing cigarettes to the villages, he was dressed like a cavender man. And mark my words, 70% of the people who smoke one time, they become chronic smokers. So that was their purpose. And in case if you are already addicted, then it is never too late to seek help or treatment. Say no to drugs, smoking, vaping, or alcohol because it is not at all cool. Recently, one photograph was shown that a cricketer was vaping. That is a very bad example of idol. Vaping is equally dangerous. Next slide, please. So how can you know that one of your friends or one of your colleagues in class, he's probably suffering from substance abuse? These are all the signs. Number one is they avoid parents because they know that they have consumed something which is not good for their health. So they avoid their parents. And they have a bad smell from mouth. So they cover their mouth while talking to someone. Plus, there is a frequent washing or rinsing. They use the body sprays or gargles or mouth spray, etc., to mask that smell. And there are injection marks on their body. So, to cover the injection marks, they wear full sleeve shirts. Suddenly, a friend of yours who was good in study suddenly starts sleeping. You must realize that there is something wrong. And such type of friends, they are surrounded by new friends. They avoid old friends like you, and most of these new friends are senior friends. And because these all are costly, either it alcohol or drugs or vaping, so they need money. So they steal money from their father's pocket or their mother's pocket. Now, normally, how much time you take in your toilet? 5 minutes, 10 minutes. So if anyone spends more time, more than 10 minutes, say, for example, then probably he might be suffering from some substance abuse, and they like to be alone because when they are alone, then and then they can consume substance. No? That is why they like to be alone. And they are having poor hygiene. They don't bath daily. They wear old clothes. I mean, they like it's like the smell is so stinky. So these are all red flags. Mind well, these are all the signs from where you can suspect that probably he or she might be having substance abuse. But to confirm, you have to discuss with him whether really he has fallen prey to it or not. Next slide, please. So, how one can prevent falling into this trap of substance abuse? As I said, avoid first use. First use, if you're done, then probably you will be an addict. Then, second, you seek help. Whenever you find that, oh, my friend is pressuring too much to me, then you can reach out to your teacher, to your family, as I said, to school counselor. Then there are life skills like empathy, critical thinking, decision making, creative thinking, problem solving, effective communication, interpersonal relationships. So this all saves you from such hazards. And you should lead a healthy lifestyle. Healthy lifestyle means whatever we have discussed previously and will discuss going forward. Then there are some stress management techniques also, like relaxation techniques, or you cultivate hobbies like paintings, etc. And the schools should form a squad of mainly senior students who will watch, who will observe the juniors and other students. Observe for what? Because if there is any substance abuse, then they can detect it. If there is a bullying, ragging, then also they can detect it. They help indulging students reach medical facilities, and even after that, also they lend support throughout the addiction. Then social support. We all live in family because it is very mandatory that we spend time with our father, mother, our uncle, auntie, neighbors, because they all support us socially. And finally, if it is required, then you can seek help from a professional person or can visit the counselors or de-addiction centers because they are specialized to help you in this regard. Next slide, please. So when to go to a professional? Like there is a severe social withdrawal, then the child hardly mixes with anyone. I mean, always lives alone. So this is a severe form. Then there is a big change in sleep appetite. Normally you go to sleep at 10, 11 p.m. But here they keep waking up till 2 a.m., 3 a.m. Then hardly they eat. So these are all red flags. Then there is extreme mood swings. Either they are low, they become depressed, or sometimes they become jovial. So there are sudden mood swings. Then there is a complete loss of functioning. I mean, the previously your friend who was so organized, now he's totally disorganized. And some of them, they have hallucination, delusions. They wake up at night due to night terror. They are afraid of imaginary creatures. And a normally looking child suddenly becomes aggressive and his intentions are harmful. He may injure others. They may suffer from intense panic or fear attacks, and their thinking is deranged. Even to a common answer by the teachers, they cannot answer. So these are all ill effects of substance misuse, and in severe cases, even suicidal ideation and self-harm, they are there. Today only I read in Gujarati newspaper that in Vadodara, parents, they were both the parents, they were serving from 9 to 5, and when at 5 p.m. they came, their 17 years old daughter, she was busy chatting with her boyfriend. So mother caught hold of her and snatched that phone away. Now she was so angry that she had literally beaten her mother to blood. Just imagine a child biting own mother. Next slide, please. Now we'll have one fun activity. This is a 1 minute laughter challenge. I'll call six volunteers to laugh, or you may even act out in 5 different ways. Remember, in 5 different ways. So it would be turn by turn, and audience, that is you, all will judge that whose laughter is the best by raising your finger or by thumping the desk. Now, the purpose of this 1 minute laughter challenge is to show them the importance of laughter, a smile in saving from the stress. Next slide, please. These are National De-Addiction Helpline for India. It is toll free and it is open 24 by 7. 14446 is the de-addiction helpline, and in general child helpline is 1098. So let us take one nation, one pledge and join the mass online movement. Now I would request everyone to stand up and to put their hand on the chest and will repeat whatever I speak. I will respect self. I will respect and be kind to others. I will limit my screen time. I will support friends. I will avoid loneliness. I will ask for help when needed. I will say no to drugs, tobacco. I will say no to alcohol in any form. Next slide, please. So thank you so much for patient listening, students. Thank you so much. Jai IIP, Jai Hind.
Thank you so much, Dr. Ramesh. That was truly brilliant. As you all saw, though we rehearsed last night, so beautiful it is, like so patiently we went through. And as I said, it depends on the child.
Madam, really wonderful presentation by
Ramesh Bhajane, very nice.
Yes,
Thank you,
thank
sir.
you, sir.
Thank you.
Thank you. Very, very nice
Thank you, sir.
presentations.
Thank you.
Excellent. And now we move on to, now these two are the two. We are giving you a detailed version, but we are also going to prepare out of them. My plan is to keep just 3, 4 slides a must in both the ones, because OJAS portion and Manas, if somebody insists that they want to do, and still you have a little time less, then we will give just 2, 3 slides of the Saksham and Suraksha. But if they want a little more, then we will do. So you will see that now we are going to present Saksham, and we have none other than another team member of us, Dr. Satish. I would request you to start the Saksham presentation, please. Thank you.
And
Over to Satish ji, Satish Agrawal.
Neelam ma'am, just 10 seconds. We would always request during every visit to the students to download our IAP care. Thank you.
Yeah, correct. Thank you very much. And I think the that one we will keep at the end of this pledges was an idea which I just thought was going to make an impact, and that's why I kept a pledge after each section. But the other two pledges we can use after the two pledges. So that's what we'll make and give you ready made, depending on the time you give us. There will be all the structured thing available online, because since it's a collaborative, tomorrow I have, anybody, UNICEF or anyone asking for any program, we need to have a very structured way of doing things rather than anybody going and talking anything, and then that is what we don't want. We want very structured. It took us time to make the website, time to put everything into place, get the funds, everything, so that things are in a auto mode. And thank you so much, Dr. Singravelu, for sincerely appreciating that. It means a lot. God bless you. Thank you so much. Over to Satish ji.
Thank you, Dr. Nirmo. Now we move on to a very important section, OJAS Saksham. Dear students, the word Saksham itself means able, capable, or competent. What does it mean? By this module will make you competent in a way that you take care of yourself, to take care of the others are surrounding you, the respect others, and important thing is you respect the Mother Earth where we are living in. Next. The most important segment of the society is the adolescent girls. And we give more importance to them because if they are healthy and good enough, we are assured of the future generation. And for that, the most important thing is the diet. As you see in the diet, it should be good in quality as well as quantity. And for that, the diet diversity should be there. It should consist of all the components of the diet. And especially the more colorful the plate is, more healthier the plate is. Now, iron-rich foods, we have seen iron is very important for prevention of anemia. We give stress to anemia because studies have shown 50% of adolescent girls in our country and 1 in 3 boys in our country, they suffer from anemia. So what are the iron-rich foods? Iron-rich foods are the green leafy vegetables, legumes, pulses, nuts, and those who eat non-veg. The non-veg foods are rich in iron. Next is high quality proteins. You know the proteins, they build up our bones, muscle, gives strength. What are the high quality proteins? Which foods are there? The foods are dal, legumes, nuts, sweets, eggs, and non-veg food. Important thing and advice to the girls, no meal skipping. They should not skip meal for any purpose, like for studies or anything else. Now, most of the girls, they have a trend of crash diet or fat diet for reducing the weight. No, answer is no. They should have whole meal with frequency as we discussed now. Daily exercises. Most of the people, they feel exercise is just a waste of time. If they invest this time in studies, probably they will be better in studies. No. On the contrary, if you exercise daily, at least for 60 minutes, your studies will be better. We'll have a look later on. Now, the girls who have started menstruating, the menstrual taking care of this menstrual health is very important. As far as medication is concerned, deworming every 6 months and iron folic acid. If the hemoglobin is good, then one tablet every week. Apart from this, one of the most important components is vitamin B12 deficiency, especially in those who are totally vegetarian. So giving vitamin B12, it also prevents from anemia. Next. Now, the thing is, how do we define anemia? Our target is hemoglobin to be more than 12%. Know the symptoms and act out them. Early this thing. Is it fatigability, tiredness, lack of concentration? These are all the symptoms. And if you compare, your palm is paler than the fellow colleagues, which is pink. Probably you're suffering from anemia. Why this slide is important? Because moment the hemoglobin falls, before that, the brain dysfunction has occurred. So you need to know the symptoms and act quickly on them. And who is going to tell about the anemia? Your doctors. So get your hemoglobin checked. If required, the necessary medication, iron folic acid B12 should be given. And whether the person is improving or not, it will be on regular follow-up. So that is more important. Now, apart from the medication, how can we prevent from this at home? As you discussed, if you take food which is iron rich, if you cook in iron cooked ways, and along with that, no tea, coffee, it should be given along with the food because they decrease the absorption of iron. So these things are very important for prevention of anemia. Next. One more thing about the food, because apart this chocolate and this tea, coffee, they decrease the absorption of iron. One more thing is there which increases the absorption of iron is vitamin C. And how do we get it? Just an example of lemon juice. So if you squeeze the lemon on the salad or you pour it into dal, you get vitamin C, which increases iron absorption. Now we come for physical activity. Why they are important? Because it is for the well-being of the child. How much is required? At least 60 minutes or more. Now we go on to the left side. There are 4 types of exercises. One is aerobics. Aerobics, the word means require oxygen. This can be mild, moderate, or severe. I happen to give the example. Mild is just walking, casual walking or casual dancing. Moderate is just like a marching on the spot. Vigorous is jogging or skipping. Next is the strengthening of the muscles of the bones. How? It is by push-up, push-downs, stretching of all the muscles like the hamstring, calf, or shoulder muscles, as the picture itself is showing, by doing various yogasana. Balancing, the picture is showing balancing on one foot. Now we go on to the right side. Why is it important? Moderate to vigorous physical activity should be done. It should include vigorous activity at least 3 times a week because it is required for muscle and bone strengthening. Just to avoid the monotony of boredom days, you should do diverse activities like sports, dance, yoga, or free hand exercises. Children, remember, you should be active throughout the day because every moment counts. And the important rule is that you should not sit idle or lying for more than 45 to 60 minutes at a stage, except during night sleep. But while doing all these exercises, you should follow all safety precautions. Next. Now the question arises, as I said, people they have got a notion instead of wasting the time for physical activity, if I'm saying for 1 hour, more than 1 hour, if they utilize the same time for the studies, probably they will be better. No, this is a period when you are gaining the height. If you do exercises, your height gain will be proper. Most of our children, especially the boys, they go to the gym for strengthening all the muscles and the bones. But you do this regular exercises, you will need to go. So strengthening all the muscles and bones in your body, exercises are necessary. And if your physical growth is proper, your mental growth is proper, and that will help you in better learning. The question which I was answering, if you do regular exercises, you will better in learning. If your physical and mental health is good, your mood is good. And because of this thing, you get prevented from various diseases. And with all these things combined, what will you lead? You lead a longer life, healthier life, and a better life. Next. Now, children will take a break. And I'll ask all 5 students from over here. And just to demonstrate the exercise. Now, the exercise, we are skipping the mild aerobic. We'll do moderate aerobic, vigorous aerobic, strengthening, stretching, and balancing. Yes. So you'll do moderate aerobic exercise. How? You will just march on the spot. Sadhan Vishram, just like that. So it may not mild or not be well. Now for vigorous aerobic exercise, yes, you do vigorous aerobic exercise. You jog on the spot. That will be a vigorous kind of aerobic exercise. Strengthening, yes, you do push up and push down just for 5 seconds. Stretching, yes, you stand over here and try to touch your toes. Yes, very good, very good. For balancing, you do Tadasana. I mean, how do you do it? You stand on one leg and put the other leg in there, touching your knees. That is what is balancing. Excellent, excellent. Now, dear friends, please have a clap for all the students. They have performed very well. Thank you. You may all go. Next. Friends, just remember, this is one of the best slides. Sleep, 8 to 10 hours, that too at night, is extremely important for health. Remember, the duration is 8 to 10 hours. Why is it important? Because you are in the growing phase. So for proper growth, sleep is important. Because while doing all the activities throughout the day, either physical or mental, your body and brain needs rest. And this rest, they will get by sleep. For mental well-being, as I'm saying, for brain, it is required. And because your reproductive organs are also developing, with adequate rest, there will be proper reproductive growth. With all these things combined, your learning in the form of memory and attention span will be better. And if you got all these things good, you will be better in academics. Now, what are the pitfalls of risk in this? If the duration is short, you sleep for a shorter duration, or there is a break, or there is delayed onset. You lie on the bed, but there is a long time. It should be within 15 minutes. You lie on the bed, you go to sleep within 15 minutes. Or there is fragmented sleep. There is a break in the sleep. No. And circadian mismatch. What does this word circadian? Circadian means there is an internal clock in the body which regulates all our activities. We dictate that it should go to sleep at night and it should wake up in the morning. So this is the circadian mismatch. But if you don't follow the rules, the internal mechanism will get deranged. And if the sleep is associated with abnormal breathing, what we call it loud snoring, it is not good. Next. Now, if I'm saying that this much sleep is important, you need to take this much sleep. Are there any rules for sleep? Yes, there are rules. There are do's and don'ts. And remember, because I'll be asking this to you after the slide is over, what you should do, how much sleep is required? 8 to 10 hours at a stage. And now, if you have to get up at 6 a.m. in the morning, when should you go to sleep? 8 p.m. And this should be consistent. Your sleeping time and waking time, you should not change even on holidays. You should go to bed at 8 p.m. and wake up at 6 a.m. And before going to sleep, you may have a warm bath before shower, below the shower. You may do some reading. And what is reading? Not the mobile, not the TV. It should be storybooks. And for your comfort, it should be slow or low volume music, which will be comfortable to you and should not be disturbing to others. What should you avoid? You should avoid all the screens. Mobile, laptop, TV, all these things is not allowed at all before sleep time. You should avoid heavy dinner. You should avoid energy or sugary drink. You should avoid tea and coffee. You should avoid chocolate. And you should avoid tobacco and alcohol. Is it clear? Just have a look again. Okay, next. Now, I'll call 5 students, group of 5 students, 2 groups of 5 students. This is just a fun activity. This is called as the Chinese whisper. What is the activity? The first student, the first group, they will say about the do's for the healthy sleep. And the second group, they will say about the don'ts of the healthy sleep. And how is the activity? The first student will whisper in the ear of the second about the do's. The second will whisper the same thing the third. Third will just fourth, fifth, and last sixth. He will say aloud whatever the first student has said. Okay? Do I need to explain it again? No. Yes, you understood it. And the second group, the first student will tell about the don'ts for the healthy sleep to the second student, second will third, and the last student will narrate what has been said by the first. Now your time starts now. Yes, very nicely, very nice. And slowly, the third student should not listen to what first is saying. Yes, make some distance. Excellent, excellent. Yes, your time is over. Now the last one from the first group, yes, you. You tell what he has said. Oh, very nice. But you missed one point. Students, just remember what he has missed. I'll ask you. Okay, now we go to the second group, the last student. You said what the first student said, what you should not do for the healthy sleep. Excellent, excellent, excellent. Yeah, he has covered all the points. Just have a clap for the students. Yes, we will please go. Next. Now, dear students, this is a slide for personal hygiene. If you take care of your body, follow the personal hygiene, you'll be saved from the outside germs, from the diseases, and you'll be better in your health. The first is your hand wash. How you wash your hands with the soap and water, at least for 30 seconds. Okay. Oral hygiene, you should need to brush your teeth at least twice a day after waking up or before bed. Bathing with soap and water. But the important thing over here, you should use dry absorbent towel and rub at this, especially under the armpits in the joints. Excellent. Now, safe water. Why safe water? Because water is what you consume. As Mama told, you need to have plenty of water. But if the water is not good, is not sterile, it will become a source of infection. Various germs will enter your body and they will cause all the gastrointestinal or abdominal problems. The girls who are menstruating, they should use sanitary pads, but with due hygiene. Face mask. Now there are situations, either you are suffering from cough and cold, or you happen to go to a crowded place where people are suffering from cough and cold. How will you prevent? By using the face mask properly. Similarly for hanky, when you are having cough and cold, you should cover your face with hanky. Now, the important thing after using either your pads or face mask or hanky, they should be properly disposed of. Why? Otherwise, they become a source of infection to others or they cause pollution. Next. Now, sexual and reproductive health. Why is it important? Because if you know about this, it will allay your anxiety, it will answer all your queries, and you need to know what sexual and reproductive health is. First of all, body autonomy. Every adolescent has got the right to know about his body and to respect about his body. That is what is called as the autonomy. Puberty changes because you all are in the growing phase. So the word puberty means at that time you have tremendous physical, mental, and emotional changes. You need to know all these changes. Respect to behavior, as we have seen, apart from your care, you need to take care of the people around you. For that, you should respect them without any caution, without any force. You should make the relation without any force or without any teasing. Consent should be well informed and that can be withdrawn at any time. Avoid unsafe practices. Knowing the safe practices will not lead to risky behavior and further consequences. If you know this and if you engage in respectful and safe behavior, that will lead to healthy relations. And the last, avoid misinformation because we all know the world is flooded with information and not all the information which is available may be correct information. And this correct, you should always go for the correct information. Next. An ounce of prevention is worth more than a pound of cure. In case if suppose you fall sick, what happens? You happen to go to the doctor, they will prescribe you the medication, or if you are more sick, you will get hospitalized. But to avoid all these things, if you prevent all these diseases, isn't it better? Yes, it's better. We'll see how can it be done. Next. Now the preventive essentials, they are useful for your health. If you clean your hands, because you eat, you drink with your hands, if they are not properly washed, if they are not clean, that becomes a source of infection. Hygienic habits, you know all about oral hygiene, body hygiene, because they become the source of organisms. Avoid unsafe food. Most of our children, they have a like for outside food. Without knowing that they may be kept open, there may be stale food, there may be dirt, there may be flies, and consuming this food may become a source of infection. So please avoid all this unsafe food. clean and safe water is very essential for a health. And the important thing is that for prevention from various diseases, there are vaccines available. Now, if you ask me what are the vaccines, vaccines are given either in the oral form or in the injectable form to prevent you from the diseases. Why needed? For prevention. And who will guide you better than this is your doctor. And who will give you the correct information? Again, your doctor, the child specialist. So they inform about this. Next. Now, what type of vaccinations are required at your age? We presume that you are being adolescent, the tetanus or better this TD. The word D means diphtheria. When you get this tetanus shot, you get prevented from
Go to
diphtheria.
next बोल रहे हो.
Hello. Now, we come to the point where we need to protect our Mother Earth where we are living. Why do we call this Earth as the Mother Earth? Because we know. You all love your mother, say yes or no? Yes. So you should love your Mother Earth also, which provides us air, water, and food. Why? Because Mother is giving all things, air, water, food without expecting anything. But we humans, with our activities like pollution, we are threatening its balance. Deforestation means cutting of the trees, and climate changes, they are harming the wildlife, other people, and we humans also. What is deforestation? Means cutting of the tree. Why trees are important? Because trees, they give us oxygen and absorb the carbon dioxide. If there are no trees, more of carbon dioxide, less of oxygen will be available. Next. This is a very important slide. Avoid pollution. This is air pollution. Indoor air pollution, because we breathe air. If the air is polluted, we won't get proper oxygen and we may fall sick. Now, what are the causes of indoor air pollution? Mosquito coil. Remember, if you burn a mosquito coil, it is just equivalent to 75 to 100 cigars smoking. Remember, so never ever burn any coil. Incense stick, around 25 cigarettes. Air refresheners, again a source of infection. Indoor smoking. Smoking is hazardous to the person who is smoking and the people around by passive smoking. And if all these things, the smoke is getting around and there is poor ventilation, the problem gets aggravated. Now, what happens to the outside? There is so much construction going on. There is dust, and this dust, it pollutes the air. Vehicles are there, they are burning the fuels, they are generating the fumes, and that becomes a source of infection. Stubble burning, again, the smoke. Garbage burning, no garbage should be burned. It should always be buried in the pits. Industrial emissions, because so many chimneys are firing the smoke, and that becomes a source of infection. Dear friends, avoid all these things. Next. Now, we are at the end, and as we have seen, just I request you to all stand, put your hand on your chest, repeat what I'm saying. Repeat, I'll get my hemoglobin checked regularly. I'll spare 60 minutes daily for exercise. I'll sleep for 8 to 10 hours every night. I'll keep myself clean and hygienic. I'll maintain gender respect. I'll act to prevent infections. I'll protect the environment. Thank you and good luck to you all. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Satish ji. Thank you. I think we're almost coming to the end. Thanks all. I can see. I'm so impressed that everybody is joining. And last but not the least, jumping over to Deepa now for Suraksha.
Yes.
Satish ji, well done, covering every aspect. Hats off to you. Okay.
Thank you, sir. Thank you.
So, yes, my dear students. So, when you come to school, you come with a dream, isn't it? You come with a dream to learn, to have new friends, to build a bright future. But for every dream to flourish, something is more essential, and that is safety. Safety not just from accidents, but safety from in every aspect of life. And that's where OJAS Suraksha comes in. It's the fourth pillar of OJAS, where we will empower you with confidence, knowledge, and skills to stay safe and responsible every day. So, what is this OJAS Suraksha? OJAS Suraksha will prepare you to face the daily life adverse situations and challenges. It will teach you how to develop awareness, compassion, empathy, and also have the decision making to face such situations. So, why is OJAS Suraksha really needed? So, students, can you tell me certain situations where your safety can be at stake? There are so many, isn't it? So, today's generation are facing many challenges that the previous generation didn't even imagine. Not just the road accidents, but the natural disasters, the online hazards, the bullying, the increasing violence, the sexual abuse, the drug abuse, the environmental hazards, and the list goes on. And without the right awareness, even a simple situation can become problematic. And therefore, with OJAS Suraksha, we will give you the right practical knowledge to identify these situations, stay calm, and respond confidently in such situations. So, what are we going to learn in OJAS Suraksha? Next. So, yes, knowledge gives us confidence, but safety gives us freedom. So, everyone should be aware of his or her own personal safety. You can become a superhero for yourself and for others too, because respecting others' safety is equally important. And therefore, every one of you should be knowing the basics of first aid, where you can become the first helper. And yes, we are having so many cases of bullying, physical bullying or online bullying. There are increasing incidences of violences. So if you yourself are a victim, or if you see any of your friend being a victim of such violence, then never stay silent, because it may become more problematic. So here you need to speak out. You need to take help in the right in the right direction. Because remember that seeking help is not a sign of weakness. Rather, it is a sign of wisdom, where you can get the right help and support. And of course, staying safe in public places is very, very important, especially the female students. Yes, never stay late anywhere from home. And yes, if you're traveling alone or you're traveling at night times, see that you're sharing your live location with your caregivers. Never take any rides from any strangers or accept any food or drinks from strangers. If you're going for any social gatherings, never leave your food or your drinks unattended. And yes, you should also set your own personal boundaries. And when it comes to online hazards, yes, we are already seen that we should not be sharing our personal information with strangers, because this can be misused. So apart from personal safety, even your digital footprint is very, very important, and it needs to be protected. And yes, the education is your birthright. If you see anybody who's been forced for child labor, you should be immediately notifying about it. And there's something called as human trafficking. If someone against their own will are forced for labor, or even you see there are cases of sexual exploitation, please don't remain silent. Here we need to notify at time. And also we need to be prepared in case of emergency situations. Next. So every child should be knowing about first aid, and every school should be well equipped with the first aid. So the first aid kits should be readily available and refilled regularly, and accessible either in some clinic area or near the playgrounds. And yes, at least 1 to 2 staff should be trained in first aid. The emergency contacts, especially the school teachers or the class teachers, should have the numbers of the parents of their class students. And apart from that, other emergency contacts like that of a doctor, a hospital, an ambulance, a fire station should be readily available and should be displayed where it can be readily accessed. And yes, when it comes to simple first aid measures, like there's some injury, some bleed, or there's some burn anywhere, then even you as a student can do these first aid measures. But remember that you should not do it with bare hands. You have to wear gloves to protect yourselves too. When it comes to health life emergencies, like say a case of asthma or there's some allergic reaction, some student may convulse. So there should be written protocols that can be displayed. And yes, at regular intervals, the school should conduct mock drills so that in such situations, everyone knows how to react and how to respond. And yes, there may be some cases where there will be a sudden collapse. So what is happening here is a cardiac arrest. The heart stops beating and there is no blood going to the brain. So here, what will save this child is the CPR. Now, telling about CPR may be out of this workshop, but if you want to know the details, you can get it on the website of OJAS. So here we give cardiac compressions so to keep the heart beating, and here we can definitely save lives. Next, and apart from this, yes, we should be taking care of our personal safety. If you see the WHO data, it shows that the majority of cause of death in teenage children are the road traffic accidents. So yes, we need to be very careful and vigilant. We are not allowed to ride uh, any two-wheelers or cars before the age of 18. And after that, we should see to it that we are using all the gadgets, that you're using the helmets, the seat belts, you're not using the mobile during driving or crossing the roads, and follow all these road safety guidelines to stay safe. And same is true with water. Never swim alone. Wear all the protective gadgets that are required. When it comes to sports, yes, warming is definitely important to prevent the injuries. And at the same time, the gadgets that are necessary to keep you safe will not just keep you safe, but will also increase your efficiency in sports. And yes, you will be becoming a social responsible citizen of the future. And therefore, knowing about the environmental hazards is of utmost importance. And yes, we should be keeping our environment clean. So keeping our surroundings clean, trying to reduce the waste, having a proper waste disposal, reduce the use of plastics, reduce the use of contaminated water and food will help us to keep our environment clean and reduce the pollution. So yes, whatever you have learned today, these are not just lessons for the school, but these are the lessons which will help you throughout your life. And yes, I believe that when even a single student learns about safety, it will make the community stronger. And this will help to create an environment in the school which is positive and safe. Because in OJAS, we believe that every child needs to have an environment where he can learn, be healthy, be safe, and it's empowering to develop this child to its fullest potential. So now I would request you to stand and let's go for the OJAS Suraksha pledge. So please repeat with me. I stay safe at home. I stay safe at school. I stay safe online. I stay safe on the road. I stay safe during emergencies. I stay safe and from the harmful habits. And yes, I will help others stay safe too. So thank you so much. And yes, we have already since morning, we have seen the OJAS Poshan, the OJAS Manas, the OJAS Saksham, and now the OJAS Suraksha. So we have 10 commandments of life that you need to follow. And what are these? Eat a nutritious diet. Limit the junk foods. Yes, not more than once a week. Know your hemoglobin and prevent anemia. Spare at least 60 minutes daily for physical exercises. Practice good personal and menstrual hygiene and respect the other genders too. Set limits for your use of screen devices and balance with off screen activities. Check your emotions. Take help from trustworthy person whenever it is needed. Ensure at least 8 to 10 hours of sleep every night. Say no to addictive substances and seek help if already addicted. Protect our environment and Mother Earth and ask your doctor about the vaccines you need. And if you follow these 10 commandments, I'm sure you will not just be academically successful, but you will be emotionally resilient, you will be socially responsible, and also prepared for the daily adverse situations in life. So, yes, before we end, I would like to give a disclaimer over here. Next. So, this is a general purpose
Well, this
education
disclaimer
module.
is for the whole module. So
Yes.
it is
So,
just to say that meet a doctor.
so it is not a substitute for
Thank you. You were
professional advice.
lovely, so lovely.
So thank you, children. Stay healthy, stay safe, and stay responsible. Thank you so much.
Thank you
Very
all,
well
my
done,
buddy.
Deepa ma'am. Deepa
Thank you,
ma'am,
sir.
very well done. Very well done.
Thank,
Madam,
thank you, sir.
one word, we can just mention BLS, but you have done very well. That word could be something, could be added. You all could trained, though it is not within the scope of your presentation, that we could have mentioned that so that people will be aware of it. This is my thought. Thank you, ma'am.
Yes, yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Yeah, so I wanted to say last night we spoke this and I mentioned that what we are doing is already few days back I'd asked him to give us the module on like the CPR. We are doing a video on the OJAS, but in this we thought we will just talk about the 30 breathing. Could you talk about that, Deepa, which I asked you to say, sternal wala? Could you do that now, or you couldn't?
Um,
Because I was
no, I couldn't.
crossing security, like we
I just
decided
told
last
about
night.
the,
No, okay,
yeah.
you forgot. Yeah, no problem. So we thought here we will just say we will teach when she tells about the CPR. She was supposed to say, show she can call a child and just show that where in the sternum how we do the pressure because we're talking to adolescents. So we are talking about the basic 32, and then again we will talk about the website here, OJAS website, because in OJAS website we put the detailed CPR and BLS. So the plan was here to just show that thing with the children, but since it was quite late that we were planning, so that's how it got slipped. But thank you so much that you also thought exactly the same thing.
Thank you, ma'am. Thank you. Thank you.
Anybody, any other suggestions? Please suggest. I've noticed all the chat and I've replied to Sarath. I think the NHM 2026 still says that. So I've given you the message. And in the manual, everything that we spoke is there. Most of the lines that we were speaking. So it is going to be there. It is not that, so that there is uniformity in what we speak. So we are giving you a manual so that you speak like that, and there'll be. I wonder if Dr. Deepak could join us, and I'm very very grateful to him because I think. Till 1 o'clock, 2 o'clock, it was Deepak and me so many times each slide, and he is such a wonderful person. God bless that the entire what slides are to be prepared, also the entire module and whole time we've been working. So I'm very grateful because the truth is. that we wanted it more picturesque so that if you talk it in different languages, whether it is Tamil or Telugu or Hindi, we thought the word should be so little that the doctor should be able to talk. So we did not want to go with the same style of so many lines. So you must have noticed, everybody, that each message is a picture. There is no reading lines. So this was very, very unique. And it took us long time, I mean, to think how it goes, because kept rejecting and all. And finally, this was, and that was thought would be most useful in terms of languages. Just like we have made a parenting module for the parents, which different languages are copying. So there's no point to do this. We can keep this, and just one line, anybody can speak in any language. That's what we thought. Hope that echoes with everybody.
Madam,
Thank you, buddies. You all were great.
Thank you, ma'am.
what about
Yes, please go ahead. I'm listening.
what about the use of growth charts for every child? Are we supposed
We've
to?
already said, we said that.
No, are we? No, that is true. But should we ask the school administration to make them available so that that is in a
Well,
record?
I'll repeat what I said. Maybe you missed it. या उमेश जी शायद आप मिस करें IAP care app इसीलिए बनाए. Everything is all very pre-planned, sir. Nothing is coincidental. IAP app which we made is nothing but the growth chart. So when I was talking, I said, please ask your parents to download the thing. So depends where you are talking. Now we assume that I talk to everybody. Majority of the people that you're going to take, even Hindi, Rotary, Maharashtra, and all, it is most of them will be able to have the mobile phone. As per the Indian statistics, 88% of the people in India are having the this type of mobile phone where they can do an app. But if you still think that in that place where you want to, you give a growth chart, but you have to make them saksham. What is saksham? You have to teach them कि growth chart आपको कैसे करना है, और उसके लिए कुछ भी
Yes.
नहीं. वो जो IAP केयर आप जाओ, एक बच्चे का 6 किलो 6 साल लिखो बोलो, और उसमें बोल दो कि इतना 15 और ये देखो, वो आपको बना के दे देगा. ऑटोमेटिक बनवाया. तो आपकी ग्रोथ चार्ट पहले बनाया IAP केयर.
Right. Thank you.
ऑटोमेटिकली
Thank
वो
you.
टीचर को भी बोल दो, वो ग्रोथ देख लेगी. वो टीचर ही का ग्रोथ देख के बोल देगी कि उसका वेट क्या है, हाइट क्या है, लड़का है लड़की है, वेस्ट सकमनेंस डालेगी तो उसमें आंसर आ जाएगा. अंडरवेट, ओवरवेट, ओबीस सब आ जाएगा. एंड अभी मेरे को टाइम ही नहीं मिल रहा है कि वो उसके ऊपर काम करूं. And I'll work more a little bit in the next, maybe month. I'm going to work more on the care app.
मैम
हाँ जी, प्लीज बोलो. सॉरी, कौन था मेरे को?
मैं डॉक्टर
प्लीज इंट्रोड्यूस.
सुबोध गुप्ता मैम.
नमस्कार, नमस्कार सुबोध जी. सर जी,
नमस्कार
हाँ जी,
मैडम.
बोलो जी.
आप मत
जी
बुलाइए
सर.
हमें नमस्कार. इट इज आवर ड्यूटी टू से
नहीं,
यू
आपका बड़प्पन
रिगार्ड.
सर.
हाँ जी मैम. वो एक तो मैं ये हम्बल रिक्वेस्ट के जो भी IAP की, जैसे ये IAP केयर है या और भी कोई है, तो उसमें उसको थोड़ा सा कोई ऐसा वेबिनार रख दें, क्योंकि बहुत सारे जैसे मुझे पेडियाट्रिशियन से बात करने का